this with all of the signatures of the faculty and staff who are working at the school, and then they get a chance to sign on to that and help support that too. Then we frame it, we put it in the main office. So it's it's this visible sign of our commitment to our mission. We put the Holy Cross theme on it, so you can see building respect is the theme for this year. Is your statement of mission on every agenda that you use for your board or your board committees? Having this in front of a board member who, again, is not at your school every day. They're very busy people with their own lives and their own jobs. So having these small little reminders on all the pieces of paper that we give them it activates, right? It's the mission, there it is. At Moreau Catholic High School, our mission statement, I say over and over in all my presentations, talks about our commitment and our membership, if you will, in the Congregation of Holy Cross. And at Moreau Catholic, we have this added bonus that we're named after the founder, right? Blessed Basil Moreau. So we talk a lot about Father Moreau. His image is around our school all the time. And kind of the shorthand for the school is Moreau. Do you go to Moreau? I work at Moreau. It's Moreau, Moreau, Moreau. That's the place, not necessarily the person. But having the mission statement very visible everywhere I have found to be very, very helpful. Our board chairs in the last few years have actually read the mission statement at the beginning of all of our meetings as a way to remind our board that we're here to serve a higher purpose, a higher calling, right? The 4 Holy Cross themes, which I know most of our schools are using. We rotate these themes each year if you're not familiar with them. So this year is building respect. These were developed about, maybe 18 or 19 years ago. And we were using them in the Southwest province originally. And now I think we're using them everywhere. Schools and organizations do different things with them, but we really brand this. This year, it's the year of building respect. It's everywhere. And we invite students, faculty, staff, and board members to reflect on that. What does this theme mean to you in the context of your work as a trustee? So this is yet another hook, if you will, to engage with board members and help further their formation. You get them talking about these themes. What does that mean to you? What does it mean in your life? What does it mean in the context of the work that you're doing here at our school? It's very visible, and we use them in all of our presentations or reflections. We use them during the retreats. And the next thing is tell stories. You know, I know a lot of this is very 101, right? You know all of this. So I'm trying to activate what you already know and really ask yourselves, are you putting these into practice? But telling stories is so powerful. We tell stories all the time. If you were in some of the sessions, I was just listening to the session with the brothers in the last segment before this, and they told stories. And formation happened in Holy Cross with the brothers telling stories to the newer brothers, right? And I'm sure it happened with the sisters, and I'm sure it happened with the priests. It happens in our families. I'm home where I grew up, visiting my family. I've been around a lot of family in the last few weeks, and you hear the stories, and it forms who you are as a person, your family story, and certainly in Holy Cross, the story of Holy Cross. So board members, you know, again, they don't work at the school. They're not there every day. They don't get the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month cycle that we get as employees or that students get over 4 years. Many of them, they come in for the board meeting and maybe a committee meeting. They might not have the time to attend a lot of school events, though we're always inviting them to do that. So when we have the opportunity to be together, it's great to tell stories, the stories that are maybe the founding stories of how Holy Cross came about, the stories of your own schools, how they were founded, the stories about the traditions around the school. I talked a little bit earlier about inviting board members to come to the school and walk around and do the walk and talk. And it reminded me of a story of one of our board members, a new board member, was sitting in our chapel. So if you were in our chapel at Moreau Catholic High School, the St. Andre Chapel, you would see these 3 stained glass windows. If you look closely, you can see the Hayward Hills behind them. The new board member asked me, why are there windows for St. Bede and for the other person who they weren't really familiar with until I told the story. So it gave me that opportunity to share a little bit that they didn't know about our school. That St. Bede was, he's a doctor of the church. I think he was a 7th century monk in somewhere in England. And he is the namesake of a school not too far from Moreau Catholic, an elementary school, St. Bede Elementary School. And for the very first year, while Moreau High School was being built in 1965, classmen were being housed, if you will, and taught over at the elementary school. So we honored St. Bede and St. Bede Elementary School by putting a stained glass window in our chapel in recognition of that partnership that Moreau High School actually started in the classroom at St. Bede Elementary School in Hayward, California. And then Father Serra, the missionary, once I pointed out Junipero Serra, which is a very common name of places around Northern California, that he was a Franciscan missionary who brought Catholicism to Northern California. The board member was like, oh, sure, right, okay, Father Serra, now I understand. So bringing Catholicism to California and helping our first students at Moreau Catholic gave me a chance to share with that board member. And the last thing I remember they asked me was, what's CSC mean? And, just yet another opportunity to talk about the Congregation of Sainte Croix, CSC. It's the initials that are after the brothers and the priests and the sisters, some of the sisters. And so that I remember that person saying, oh, like OP and SJ and all. I said, yes, that's right. They all have those initials. And it gave me the opportunity to answer the question, well, why is it CSC and not CHC? And so we talked through Father Moreau being from Le Mans, this section of Le Mans called Sainte Croix, where that neighborhood where Father Moreau was from and lived and did his work. That essentially that is a translation of the French. So encouraging you all to tell stories to your board members and the walk and talk around the school. I know you all have symbols, whether it's the cross and anchors or it's perhaps the stained glass windows, anything that you have in your school that can help in the formative experiences for your faculty and staff. Now I want to show my background here. And if you can see, this is my virtual background, but next to me here is Father Moreau, right next to my face. This is our lobby at Moreau Catholic High School. which I use as my background. And that painting was commissioned by one of our alumni, and it shows Father Moreau as if he were standing in our library. And on my little walk and talk around our campus, I often talk about this because our students would recognize the stained glass window up here in the corner, and it looks like our library. And no, Father Moreau didn't come to Hayward. He didn't come to our school, but one of our graduates wanted to express his gratitude for everything, his education at Moreau Catholic High School, and gave this beautiful portrait to the school as a gift. And it gives me a chance to talk about our alumni and how many wonderful examples exist of our alumni giving back and helping support our school. Over here, see if I can get out of the way, you'll see our ship's wheel. We are the Mariners at Moreau Catholic. And when you walk into our school, on the floor of the lobby is the ship's wheel, and it's got 4 quadrants, if you can see it. In the upper left is the cross and anchors, which symbolize our Holy Cross heritage and tradition. And the upper right is the fleur-de-lis, which is the symbol of France and our connection to France through Father Moreau. In the lower right, you see a picture of a ship on the ocean. We are the Mariners. All of our school traditions are around words like mariner and voyager and explorer and discovery. And that is something that the brothers in 1965 and the very first freshman class all worked on collaboratively to come up with as the kind of the school's mascot, if you will, the Mariner. And then in the lower left, you'll see the scales of justice. And this is our school and the congregation's commitment to Catholic social teaching and social justice. This idea of having the seal put onto the floor was borrowed from St. Edward's, that has its school insignia outside, and the tradition there that the students they don't walk over it, they walk around it. So when we remodeled our building in 2006, 2007, we borrowed that great tradition, but we actually put a relic of Father Moreau under that bronze seal in the floor. So it gives us this great opportunity to share about our heritage and to share about our traditions with a new board member and with students. So nobody walks over that. Now, there isn't a sign there that says don't walk over it. Our intention at our school is to tell that story to everybody one-on-one. Our junior and senior students who are on Link Crew, which is the student mentoring and orientation group that helps our incoming freshmen, they tell students that story. Maybe our principal, department chairs, director of Holy Cross Mission will tell our new faculty and staff about that tradition. And I tell it to the board members when they come on campus. So other than an errant UPS delivery person who might walk on it, nobody walks on that because they know the story. But it's not something we hand them on a piece of paper that's about rules. It's something that we share personally. So I just wanted to give you a little walkthrough of the lobby as a way to maybe just model and demonstrate to you that formative experiences for your board, as I wrap up a little bit here, have to be built in relationship, and they have to be intentional. So think through these things. Board members are very, very busy. They're not on your campus every day. They're not going to read all the memos and the emails and all of the stuff that go to the faculty and staff and students, right? You're their pipeline if you're the president or the board chair. So how do we give them an equal amount of formative experiences that are rooted in relationship, as well as the information type? If you're a board member, you ask yourself, do I hear more about budgets and fundraising and meetings and schedules and those kind of things than I hear about Holy Cross and Father Moreau and the traditions and the sort of interesting stories rooted in relationship that are around your campus? So this is a little self-assessment for you to do, and think about it. And if you feel, wow, we're doing really well at this, then congratulations, that's great. And I think that it's an ongoing thing. And I didn't know it the first time I became an administrator, but it was modeled to me. And every year, I think I was inspired in different ways to find other formative experiences to help connect and root our board members. If you're feeling maybe we could be better at this, great. If I've helped spark the conversation with you, talk about it. Talk about it at your board committee meeting. At my school, we have a board matters committee that talks about things like this, and see if you can, find ways to improve those formative experiences. So I know we just have a few minutes left, and I would like to open it up to questions or comments. I hope you found some of this useful. I will share this presentation. I will upload it in the portal right when we're done. If you have any questions, my email is tlee@moreaucatholic.org. And I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you for listening.
Terry?
Hi, Frank.
Terry? Hi. I had a little trouble with the title of this presentation, Formation of Board Members, and thank you for clearing it up. It makes so much sense to me now that I didn't get the title, the connection to the content. Now it really is helping to really round out why people are board members, not just doing the objective side of it. Thank you.
Terry,
Yeah,
this is
thanks,
Mark.
Frank.
I'm chair of Notre Dame High School in West Haven, Connecticut.
Hi, Mark.
And thank you for the presentation. We don't often think about the process of formation. We talk about information, and you have helped me think about these ideas about formation. And we have a lot of new board members now, and I think some of these concepts will be very beneficial to getting them on board and getting them excited to be on board. They're excited when they enter, and this will help us keep that excitement going. Your idea of giving a book to a board member, the random participation to lead a prayer or come to school, and having the mission statement on the agenda, great ideas. And so thank you.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Frank.
Thank you, Mark.
Are there any other questions for Terry? As mentioned, he will be providing the slides from his presentation as well. I know that there had been one request that was shared on the chat function. Otherwise, there are no other questions on the chat.
Terry, it's not Joe DiMadaris. Sorry, I came in late. Not a question. I just wanted to say thank you for offering your wonderful thoughts here. And also just to put a note in, I'm at St. Edward University, and the seal that Terry was referring to is behind me. Hopefully folks can see it. I love that story, Terry, you tell, because when I was being recruited to join the university, I almost made the mistake of stepping on the seal. But it was interesting because you're right, that no one really tells you. You just sense it, and then you see folks walking around it. It's just one of those wonderful traditions that then fosters an opportunity to ask a question of why, which leads to a conversation about what it all means. So thank you, Terry, for doing that, carrying that on. I love it.
Thank you, Joe. Good to see you. And it's great that you have that picture there. I left out one important fact as I was talking about that, and that is our students, our student leaders, for many, many years attend the Holy Cross Conference for Student Leaders on the campus of St. Ed's. And they knew this tradition, they loved it. So in those years when we were planning this remodel, one of the students' suggestions was, could we have a big wheel somewhere? Now it evolved with the floor and where it was and all of that, but it was the students really loving the tradition that they saw at St. Edward's that brought it back. And so in and of itself, that was a great experience for students, a formative experience that we can use with adults.
One other thing, Terry, we have just a couple minutes left. We've been working over the last couple of years on a project that is a deeper sort of pilgrimage to the area of Sainte Croix in Le Mans. And I had the privilege and benefit of participating in a faculty journey, a faculty pilgrimage to that area. And so we have done all the work, and then COVID hit on extending that for a kind of annual pilgrimage that takes folks to that area. But preceding that, we invite individuals to read. So one of the things we did was we actually read Basil Moreau's writings. And it was wonderful to be able to put in the context, the historical context of the formation of Holy Cross, and then being able to visit those important sites. So I put that out there because I think as we move forward, that might be a resource through the Institute that, so keep an eye out. That might be something in the future that we can offer to folks who might have that interest for a deeper experience down the road through the Institute.
Thanks, Joe. That's a great idea. I've often thought of if we had that opportunity to go to either Montreal or Le Mans,
right?
I went on the international session a long time ago, and it really was one of the just great experiences that rooted me in Holy Cross. And if we could provide those for some of our board members, I think that would be wonderful. I know these things are expensive, but we try to find ways to do it. So exactly. I know we're coming up to the top of the hour. There's only 2 minutes left. I just want to thank everybody for being in the session. I want to thank Frank for his contributions. I want to thank Daniel for supporting our session. I want to thank all of you too for all the work you do in Holy Cross, and enjoy the convocation and keep spreading the word. It's only Friday. There's all day tomorrow and Sunday. So, spread the word to others to help to get them to experience some of this too.
And Terry, thank you as well for sharing your thoughts and ideas and experiences that while we may engage in our own schools and doing stuff, hey, we're always open to new ideas.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. God bless everyone. Take care.
Take
Thank
care.
you.